In this week's lesson, I'm going to give you 3 games you can use with any standard metronome over any tune to help improve your sense of time and your consistency of your groove. And this is going to make whatever you're playing sound way better. All right, let's get started. Hi, it's Paul from Sax Academy, and on this channel I release videos every week to help you become a better sax player and musician overall. So hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future lessons. So before you dive into these metronome games, I would say first of all, think of a tune or grab a tune that you feel really confident with, something that feels like incredibly easy for you. You don't want to be trying these metronome games over a tune you're still working on or you find a bit tricky. Not in these first stages anyway, whilst you're getting used to these new time feels and placing the beats yourself without having that metronome there all the time. So for today, I'm going to just use a nice simple song. We're going to do When the Saints. We're going to do it in the key of G major on the alto, which will be C major on the tenor. I'll put the note names below if you want to follow along. This song's great because it only uses 5 notes, so even if you're pretty new to the sax, you should be able to master this tune pretty quickly. So the first game is to imagine the metronome is clicking on 2 and 4. Now to do that, you'll have to half the metronome speed. So for us, we're going to imagine that the metronome was on 150, so we're going to halve it to 75, and then we're going to imagine it's clicking on 2 and 4. Now, if you haven't done this before, the way to get into this is to speak the numbers and clap where the metronome is going to click, and you'll soon get a sense of how it feels. So it would be something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can speed that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also try not saying all the numbers. So just say 1 and 3, but clap on 2 and 4. 1, 3. 1, 3. Then when you put the metronome on, you should be able to find those gaps and place the 1, 2, 3, 4, and just practice saying the numbers first of all. And you can clap along with the metronome as well. So we'll try that now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you've got used to the time feel and you can say the numbers and clap on beats 2 and 4, then you can grab your sax and have a go at playing it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, moving on to the second game. What we're going to do now is half the metronome again. So this time it's only going to click once per bar. Now first of all, you can set the metronome so it only clicks on beat 1. Once you've got used to that, then try shifting it. So I'll just quickly play you the 4 options you've got. So starting with the metronome just clicking on beat 1 would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now I'd say the next easiest place to imagine that metronome clicking is on beat 3. So that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, have a go with imagining that metronome is clicking on beat 2. So that would sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, clicking on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And Now the third game isn't what you think. We're not going to halve it again and only having it clicking once every 2 bars, although you could certainly give that a try. What we're going to do now is something a little bit different, and this is definitely the hardest game so far. What this is going to do is really help generate your own internal sense of the pulse, but also where the strong beats are in the bar. What we're going to do is imagine that the metronome is clicking only every 3 beats. Now this song's in 4/4, so what we're doing here is setting up what's called a cross rhythm. So I'll show you what that would sound like just by saying the numbers and clapping where this metronome is going to fall. So it would go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then it comes back round. So after 3 bars, it resets with the click syncing up with beat 1. But across those 3 bars, it clicks on each of the beats. It goes on 1, then 4, then 3, and then 2. So once that starts to feel really comfortable and you feel confident knowing where those clicks are going to land, you can then try playing the melody whilst that's clicking. Now I would let it go round 1 cycle of clicks of 3 bars before you start playing the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope that sparked your imagination with how you can take a metronome and start to play around with where you're imagining that metronome is clicking. Now with these examples I kept it so they're only clicking on the beat, but you can also try things like shifting them over an 8th note and imagine they're clicking on the offbeats or on the swing offbeats. There are so many possibilities you can try, and it can completely transform your internal sense of time and consistency. And when you're playing jazz, pop, rock, any of that kind of music, rhythm is the most important thing. And as sax players, it's one of the things we can easily neglect. I think it's partly because this is just a linear instrument, so we're never really forced to play 2 things at once, like on a piano or drums. So playing these games, particularly clapping and saying the rhythms or clapping and singing the melody, that's what really helps develop your internal pulse. Let me know how you got on in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.